Hey everyone, it is Natalie from Being Intentionally Creative. And doesn't this look like a really cool mold to do? Kidding. I got a package from Temu. I thought we'd go through that, and there are a couple of molds in there, and depending on how they look, we might do that in our video. And if we don't do that, then I've got a Halloween piece that I'd actually like to try out, and I want to try something really funky with it. I'm just not sure how it might work out for me. Anyway, we'll leave that. We'll go through this. Not everything, so I'll be totally honest with you. As far as I know, there's only 2 molds in here, and they're both the same. I had an idea, and then again, I sort of lost track of the size of them, so it's not going to work out the way I had anticipated. But there's some card making stuff in here, and I actually bought myself a blouse or a top from Temu. I wanted something really bright and colorful, so I ordered something, and we'll see how it turns out, whether it'll, fit my mood or not. And most of the stuff in here is card making. Actually, that's a bit of a lie. I've got some nail stuff in here as well. So let's get stuff out of here, and let's just go through everything I've got. And then, depending on what we do for a video, I actually also got, so I've got a couple ideas sort of swirling in my head as I pull this stuff out. I got some more mica powders. They're metallic mica powders, and they're really interesting colors. I also got some metallic markers, and I have some dried flowers. I have not known what to do with them. I either need to do something with them or I need to get rid of them. But I'm thinking about using metallic markers to maybe add some coloring to the flowers and then using them in resin. And my only concern is whether or not they would run. So we might have to do a test on that to see what happens. So let's get these out. And I'm thinking my molds are a lot smaller than I expected them to be, which may actually work out for what I wanted, maybe. But we'll have to see. So let's look at those molds last, and then I'll take you through the rest of the stuff first, and then we'll go and make a decision. So you've seen me with my nails done before. I've got some really cool, I'll call them stickers for lack of better clarification, that I can put on my nails. And I think they're sort of like a bohemian style. And I'm going to have to put something behind these. I don't think you're going to be able to make them out. So I love putting stuff like this on my, let me get this right. I don't even want to do that. I'll just put them back here because we're just going to end up with a blurriness. So there's those. Can we just set that there? Maybe. Just trying to see if I can get these the right way. I thought they were really pretty, and I thought I can have some fun with these. It takes me a long time to do my nails, but I just love doing different things with them, and I thought these were really pretty. Now they may be, let me see, like if I use these, I'll be using these on fake nails, not my own. And with the time of year being at, my nails start to crack and whatnot, so I have to just not even bother. But if I do them, I would put them on the fake nails, because these are actually fairly big, which may make it a little more challenging for me. So I might have to cut them, but they looked really pretty, so I bought them. And who knows, I could always see about also potentially putting them in to some resin art or something along those lines. So let's put those over there. I also got some, there's 2 packages here. 3! Ooh, look at me go. I didn't realize there's so many of these. So these are nail foils, Christmas nail foils at that. So let's get these out of here. Apparently, I didn't realize how many of these I was going to get. That's hilarious. Too funny. Look at me go. I seriously I've been cleaning out this room. So I had an instant where I had some glasses sitting on the shelf in the closet in this room. And unfortunately, due to vibration and whatnot over time, they moved towards the front of the shelf and fell on the floor, and I broke some. So I've been doing a cleaning out, and I'm sorting through things, and I'm going, I've gotten rid of some stuff. I'm in the process, like we'll burn stuff, we'll give it away stuff, we'll just throw stuff out. And so one of the things I've sort of gone through a little bit is my nail foils. I wanted some for Christmas. I really wanted specific to Christmas. And I saw these, and again, not realizing how many were in here. So I thought, oh, I'll get these. So there's the first container of them. Again, I put these on fake nails, not on normally on my own, just because if you do them right, they'll stay on the fake nails a lot better and longer than I can get them to stay on my real nails. So we've got quite a selection, and for anyone who knows me, I will not just do, I normally don't. I wouldn't just do like this on all of my nails. I go and do like all kinds of variety on, because well, that's just the way I roll. I dare to be different. And yeah. So there we have it. These are really pretty. Again, I didn't think I was getting this many. Whew, don't need any more of those. I could set up my own little salon if I felt so brave to do that. All right, let's do this. So more paper. I thought I was getting, now interestingly enough, I thought this was supposed to be like tissue paper, but no, this is definitely a paper. I'll have to go back and look at that. But so again, for the cards I make, I'm still working on my Christmas cards. I am nowhere near having them done. It was supposed to be really easy to do junk journal Christmas cards, and it's anything but easy for me to do them. Look at the colors on that. So pretty. So these will be, because I had sort of thought these might be a little Christmas related. Apparently they're not. But these will be great for the number of female birthday cards I make every year. And some of these colors will speak to the people. But yeah, and I don't know if there's, I actually think these are all different. Again, I'd have to look that up, but like, love my butterflies. Well, maybe they're duplicates. It doesn't matter to me. These are so pretty. Wow, those are beautiful colors, eh? If you're into that kind of thing. All right, let's look at these. So my idea with these was to cut out, and I don't know how many of you watch this or into making cards or anything like that, but my idea with these had been to actually cut out the ornaments and then use them on the cards. And I don't know if these are all the same or all different. Again, some of them, the batches you can get, they're all completely different. And some of them are like you get 2 or 3 of a certain design. Yeah, so I thought it would be neat to cut out. And my cards this year, they're landscape. They're not portrait. And normally I do portrait. So these would actually work nicely across. Totally baffled on what to do for my Christmas cards. I had really good intentions, and I still don't have them done. And I've got to make 12 of them. Anyway, so those are them. Let's see if there's anything really grabbing here. Yeah, see, even something like that. I don't like fussy cutting at all, but these would be relatively easy to cut out. And I don't know if I have big enough. I do have some circle dies that might fit around these. Or I could even do a different design. I could do like a rectangle around them. They don't have to be circles, do they? That's how my brain thinks. Okay. I also got some more stencils because, well, why not? Again. Don't even ask. Just sit there, shake your head if you need to. I get it. Okay, so let's look at this. This is the blouse I bought. So hopefully that'll work well for me. But I love the colors on it. Let's just get it out of here. Might as well just take it out. Yeah, see, this is so... I just love the colors on this. Like, it's just bright. It's who I am. I'm into the bright colors. I love flowers. So I thought this would be a really nice blouse to have. So hopefully that works out for me. All right. The stencils. I can't even remember what's in these stencils. Are you able to see that well enough, or do they need to be under something black? Just give me a second as I get tangled up on things again. Let's see if I can do this without. All right. So I think these are kind of funky looking things that we've got going on here. Again, I'm into the unusual. Let's get that out of there. Well, I can see it. So that. If you do cards, I'd love to know what kind of cards you do. I mean, even this stuff, depending on the piece we were to do, we could, use some of the paste that I've got and, put it on, like do a resin piece that's in whatever color and then go over it with the paste and fill it in. Now, I noticed too, if you get some of the stencils from Temu, I often find that there's still pieces that need to come out that haven't either gone completely through when they've been cutting them out. So pay attention to that, because I'll have a couple more on that I need to clean up. But they make for cool backgrounds on things. And I thought, again, maybe something funky as part of the junk journal for the Christmas cards. I don't know. I was even trying to get away from the typical Christmas colors, and yeah, that's sort of not working for me either. Psychedelic. That reminds me of psychedelic. I'm thinking 60s. Even that too. Oh, that's cool. Anyway, got just a few more of these and then we'll get to our mold. And I have ink pads that I could use my brushes and put the design on as well, not just a paste. All right, so there we go. So those are the sort of card making shirt stuff I got and nail stuff. All right, get that put back there. I don't need that. All right, now, so here are the molds I got, and these are what we might do, and we might still just do these because I'd really like to try out the metallic. And so my initial thought was, and I really have to start paying better attention to, is these both go in the same direction. I had sort of hoped that, and I wasn't thinking at the time when I bought them, that they would make earrings, but one, they're too big, and the other thing is they go in the same direction. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is very carefully somewhat bring you down. Trying to back down. Okay. I only put it way up just because of the other stuff. So I had thought earrings, but then when I went back and I saw what the size of these were, I thought that's not going to work for me. But they might be, again, depending on what colors you did, you could use them for Christmas. So I think these might be kind of interesting to make. So maybe we'll do this. We'll check out the colors I've got for the Sugar Plum Fairies, for the mica powders I've got, the metallic mica powders. And the beautiful thing about something like this is that you could do a lot of different colors in it, just because I think sometimes with feathers, you can see such beautiful pictures of feathers that have got different colors in them. And if we kind of you know, make sort of like a gold bronze sort of idea. We can kind of keep it somewhat tame, if you will. But I think these might be kind of cool to do. And I wouldn't expect that they're going to take much resin. So I'll figure that out. But I think, yeah, I think, you know what, we will do these. And we'll use the new metallic colors I've got. I'll do some playing with the metallic markers I've got to see if my idea with the flowers would work. And maybe what we might do too, I'm just wondering. And this one actually, you know what? This one seems like it's deeper than this one. Like this one has a lot more substance to it than this one does. So I can see my, you know, resin sort of settling down at this end, but that doesn't matter. And we can maybe try with the polyurethane and see what we get. Maybe do one in black, one in white, but I'll figure out how much water, well, I'll figure out the resin based on water I put in there, and we will go from there. So I think we'll actually do this. Anyways, let me get myself organized, and when I'm ready for us to pour these, I will be right back. As you can see, I have already poured a couple of these without you, and that's, I'm going to say that's totally okay because I plan on pouring some with you. This is the mica powder metallic set, and it's not in your view well enough, so let me get a couple of things completely out of the way here so you can see. There and there. And how many came in the set? So we got 20 colors here, and as I said, they looked like really cool colors online. Like this rich gold is like it's just got a really cool look to it. I also wanted, because of black, I'm still on a black kick. We have a camo green, which I haven't opened this one, but that's extremely dark. They have a deep purple red, which is, we'll open some of these up. I have only opened up two. So the two I opened up were the light silver gray. I opened up that one to use on these pieces, and the chestnut. All right. So, and I was really, the silver has a sort of, I don't want to say different texture. It just looks different than the others. And let me here compare it to one you can actually see. So the silver's got a lot more sparkle in it. It almost looks like it might be a little bit thicker than the other mica powders, which look more dense. Now, I also know from previous experience that they're all 5 grams, but as I understand it, some of the weights are a little different. Like they're heavier, I guess, the more dense. So you may not get the same amount in every container. So I learned that through Gel Moments when I had asked my rep about that, because I had gotten some of the powders from them, and I said, like, some of these aren't very full and other ones are a lot fuller. And she says it's because of the density and therefore the weight. It's the same weight, it's just because of the density of the product. So I'm totally cool with that now that I understand that. I think what we might do is I wouldn't mind trying this deep purple red for the next set. Now, what else have we got here that's kind of coolish? Satin gray, nope. Flash copper, that's kind of an interesting color. Maybe what we should do, maybe we should do the camel green, because I'm curious to know just the color of that in general. So what, oh, sugar plum fairies. I guess I shouldn't have done this ahead of time. Look, give me a second. I gotta clean up my mess. I just spilt my my Alumilite part A from, see, now here's a prime example. Don't do what I just did. I'm always so careful, and I tell you guys all the time just to, you know, make sure things are covered, and so you don't end up with stuff spilling like mine just did. So what I should have done is put them off to the side. So my bad. Just give me a second while I clean up my mess. So now I'm going to get to the end of the bottle. I think I have some of part A still left in a different bottle, so it really won't matter. But I got to clean this up now. So don't do this. If you're showcasing something, put it off to the side so you don't end up doing what I just did. Thankfully, it wasn't a really big container. That would have been horrid. So let me get that cleaned up. And then I'll tell you what came in the box. I'll get these out of the box. They won't be staying in here. Get them into a different container. Now there's your sideshow for today, people. Just want to make sure the bottom of that box is cleaned off. So yes, thankfully that was not, I mean, it was only about 7.5 mils in there. So I figured out that I had made 20 originally for these. They only take about 15 or a little bit more in them. Okay, back off. Now let's carry on with our show. I love how I do things. Okay, so besides the mica powder, what came in the box? Well, we got these two nifty little scoop. They're flat, but they're meant to help you get your micas out of the container. We got this paintbrush. I guess it depends on what or how you are using this, whether you're making it into a paste or some sort of paint. I did attempt to use this on one of the wings to put in the mica powder. The nice thing about this was the mica didn't really stick to it, which is kind of cool. But if you really, I think, want to get the intensity, a makeup brush or a foam brush would be much more helpful. It also came with a pair of gloves. I shouldn't say two, a pair of gloves. So let's get those set off to the side. Whew. Okay, so some days I need to take my own advice. All right, so we did, for the first ones that I did with the black, I did the light silver gray and the chestnut, right? So let's take these out and see how they look. You know what? I got to take these gloves off again. My hands are way too warm today. It's chilly outside, but I don't like how they stick to my hand. I don't need them for this part. Alrighty, carrying on. So let's get this. So this is the one I did, which was chestnut. So that's what the chestnut with the black backing looks like. Now, this other one I'm going to have to drill through because, as you can see, we covered the hole on this one completely. This was the one which had about 15 to 16 mils in it, which was still a little bit too much because I have some overspill here. But I probably wouldn't go more than 17 mils in these. Ooh, that looks pretty. And that's, obviously, as I say, I've got to drill through the hole because it didn't go all the way through. But that actually looks really nice with that silver on it. Yeah, I like how that looks. Very, very elegant, very regal. And yeah, we have to sand it down. But that came out really nicely. I think depending on, again, you know, we've got Christmas coming up. As I say, this wouldn't work as an earring. Well, I guess you could try. It would be really, really big. That's too big for me. I'm thinking Christmas trees, depending on what, you know, floats your boat. It's meant as an ornament. I almost think they had actually thought about these for a keychain. I think it's a little too big for a keychain. Again, that's just me. I think it's a little too big. You could make it as a magnet, I guess. I'm going to have to really think about this one as to what uses I could have for it. The other thing, now I don't know if it would work, and I don't have any of my molds here, but I'm wondering if you made these and then use them around the side of a round vase or something like that. The only drawback is the fact that it's got the hole in it. But that might be kind of cool if you put them around a vase. Although, I'm not sure how it would work. Or if you used a square one, that might work better and could do one on all four sides. So let's just put those off to the side a little bit. Now, you can see with my chestnut that it really got into the mold itself. So we could probably do the camo. I'm going to wipe this down. I'll use the camo in this one. And then we'll see how dark. And these did come sealed. It was interesting because I had noticed a little bit of coloring in it in the box itself. The packages, I was kind of wondering if they wouldn't be sealed. They were sealed. I got these off of Amazon. They are, and I'm not sure I'm going to say that well, Rosifar, the name of that correctly. I will also put a reminder out there. I had done a short in regards to eye candy and their sale they've got going on Halloween colors. Again, check out the website to find out exactly what colors. I know it's limited. It's not their entire site. I also had noticed in the message they had sent out to me that they have some new paste colors that they brought out. And they had, sometimes when they get the new paste, they say that, you know, once they're gone, they're gone. They had indicated with these colors that once they're gone until they get another batch in. So I'll just want to mention that to you. I'm going to have to start doing, I think, shorts to let people know about the sales that go on with eye candy, because they always seem to happen that I get notified after I have done a video, or yeah, the timing just isn't right. So I will work on just, you know, giving you the heads up. I am an affiliate with them, but you know, you want to buy, great. And if you choose not to because they're not your preferred vendor, if you will, I get that too. So I like their products, and anytime I've reached out, I have always gotten a reply back, and it's usually the guy who owns the company that responds back to me. So I think that's kind of cool that he takes the time out for his clients. And when you have questions, he's there to answer them for you. I really like that. All right, so let's get a couple of, that may just be the mold itself. All right, so let us, I still can't believe I knocked that over. All right, so our green and our deep purple. I'm going to put my gloves back on for this. I don't really need to. You know what? I don't need to. But I did to take the lids off because I didn't want to get stuff on my hands. So let's just do this. Okay, so there's your top. And I'm going to do this with two-part epoxy as well. We'll pick out the colors, and then I'll get it all done, and then I will bring you back once they're ready to take out of the mold. And I'm thinking, I'm not sure whether I want to mix the colors right into the resin or do what I've done before, but maybe we'll do it one way, one the other way. Okay, so I'm trying to, you know what, we'll find out what that looks like once we get it on. It's actually looks like a nice green. The bottle's making it look a lot darker, and the bottles are clear, obviously. And there wasn't much on the lid. So here's what it looks like on the lid. There you go. But we'll see how it shows up once we get it into the mold. Don't put that over there. You knock that other one over, Natalie, I'm going to be very upset with you. All right. Like a mother scolding her child, right? All right, so let's do this deep purple red. It's not going to matter which one I do these in. Ooh, that is dark. Now it'll be interesting, again, how it shows up against the white that we use in this. Because we all know that the difference is quite noticeable, depending on the color you're using. I'm trying not to get too much on it, but at the same time, enough. And I think it would be nice if you separate it out. Maybe what I'll do for the clear ones, like for the epoxy, I will do a few colors on one of them, because all I'm doing right now is one color. So maybe what we'll do is we'll do, you know, also figure out what would be nice colors to go together. And there's no blues. So we've got greens, we've got golds, we've got blacks, we've got browns, and we've got reds, and then a silver thrown in there. It seems to be sort of a set. I don't know. Did I tell you I got these off of Amazon? I don't know. I'm trying to think if this company on the page I got them had other colors. If I think about it, I will look that up for you so you can have a look. I can't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. All right. The detail on these is really impressive. I have to admit, these people who are making these molds, if they're using a 3D printer, like the detail is really cool. Like I'm really impressed. All right. So there we have. Okay, that is the deep purple red. Get my thing to clean out here. There, I'll just wipe that off. Okay, and now let's see what that camo looks like. Because it's not as, it looks really dark when you look at this bottle, but when I look at it on the inside, it's not as dark. Yes, just a second. I think I got something on that. Like this is a very soft color. That surprises me. I was thinking this was going to be some silly dark. Almost it looks like it has a hint of blue in it. So are any of you out? I've got still some gardening to do. My vegetable garden's been out for a couple of weeks now, but my one wildflower bed I have got to, I'm working on cutting them down, and I'm taking my time because I want to get some of the seeds from some of the flowers because they look so cool. And my neighbor, I want to share some with her because she's got a green thumb, which is great because I get her over here and to give her stuff. And then we start walking around and she's telling me all the formal names of things. And it's like, can we just keep the simple names for Natalie? Because 2 days from now, I might remember it and I might not. So I want to get outside and get that done before, I hate to say it, snow flies. Okay, so that's what we've got so far for that camo. I thought that might be a lot darker than what it is. And I'm not sure we're going to be able to make it any darker. So what we might do with this one, because it's so light, just sort of take it down a little bit. Okay, blend it. Let's get another color. Just trying to think if we use another green. Decisions, right? We got a flash bronze, which might look kind of cool. What else? Olive gold. I want to make, if I pull another green out, I want it to be a color is darker. I don't want to get to the point that we're too close to the same color because that's not gonna work for me. Maybe we'll try this, the bronze green. We could do with a totally different color as well, but no. Okay, let's do the bronze green. And then we'll do a red. We'll do one of the reds for my two-part epoxy. And I'd say the black. Hopefully the screen will come out. Okay. I think this is, so that's again, it's hard to see against the black. Hopefully you can see that. We will see how this, I want to get that, oops. I really need to clean that out too. So let's just put it in, right? I'll make it easier for you to see. Yeah, good. It's darker. So that's good. It's a nice color too. I wonder if all the greens are going to be like a softer green as opposed to as I was saying, the camo green, I really thought that would be just a really dark green. But alas, it is not. And the lid won't go on the way you want it to. Okay, so there we've got a camo green and our bronze green. So really, really pretty colors. All right. Clean that off. I'm really thinking I need to clean that out. But I like how it catches things though, for sure. All right, so I want to, before we go and I measure out any more of my part A, I'm just wanting to see what colors do we want to use for the 2-part epoxy. Got a brass brown. I love the flash wine red. Chocolate brown. I guess I shouldn't be throwing them. Flash amaranth. That's a name. So let's do that. I was wondering about the rich gold, actually. The dark brown green, that reminds me of one of the, I believe it is Let's Resin, one of their chrome powders I've got that tint to it. It's sort of like a two-tone. Brownish red, flash gold. Yeah, so the flash gold is similar to the texture of what the silver is. Charcoal black. Olive gold. Flash copper. I have no idea. Seriously, no idea what to do here. Rust red. Satin gray. No, that's not floating my boat either. So put those two back. Well, what if we were to do these two together, because they're kind of nice colors. And maybe what we'll do is we'll do a two-tone like this with these two colors. And we'll do both of them the same. That'll make my life a lot simpler. And I'll do it the same as I've done these two. I'll just put it in first, and then we'll pour the mica or pour the resin over top of it. I know it's, or put, just wondering if we put one color or the other in the resin itself, but that might not be fair to the other color. So we'll do it a two-tone, maybe a little bit differently than this one. And I'll just use clear resin, and I won't get fancy with my resin. So we won't do that. I'm just going to move some stuff off to the side so I can get that over. Okay. Get rid of this box. Right. So put those there, because you're going to want to know what colors I've used, haven't you? Or won't you? Now, let's get my resin back up here that I so easily spilled, but thankfully not a lot, but you really don't want to be spilling this stuff. So we need B. I don't want to put that up there. Last thing I need is something else falling, so. At least we didn't lose a whole bunch. Enough, but not too much. Ugh. Oh, look at me go. I guess what I could do, since it's all going to be the same, it's not going to matter, is I was going to do each independently, but because I'm not mixing anything into it, so let's go up to, we'll go up to the 15. Should have thought about that. I was thinking, oh, I got to do these independently, but I won't. I won't. I'll do them together. That'll make my life a lot easier. I don't have to only measure really once. Alrighty then. And then anything left over, I'm just throwing it into here, making a real mess of that piece. Oops. Okay, that's why. Being very whatever with it, eh? Alright. So I slip slide away. Perfect. As you know, I do line it up with the lines, but I always back up so I can see it at eye level. I'm very particular about doing that. And I'm just thinking, all right. My hands are slick today. Insert your favorite music here while I do this. Because I'm trying to think. I got nothing to say to you right now. So I will ask a question. Does anyone do fall cleaning? I know usually it's interesting. People say, you know, they're going to do some spring cleaning. I am continuing on with cleaning some stuff up. You know, well, that would have been a good idea. I don't have, and that's unusual for me. Sugar Plum Fairies. Which one is which now? Maybe it won't matter. Apparently it's not going to matter to me. I don't know which lid's which. I think that's B though. I normally put A and B on the top of my lids, and I can't believe I didn't do it for those. For the white. Oh well. Oh, I should be okay. Maybe what I'll do is take both lids off, and I'll just clean them up really well with alcohol. The isopropyl, and then I won't have to, it won't matter if I've got them mixed up, and then I'll put them on. Okay, let's get this done. And I think what I might do, I was going to say pour this, I could use one of my silicone ones. So I have to ask, I'm not a sports person, but is anyone watching? I say this more for the Canadians in regards to the Blue Jays playing in the finals of whatever it is. As you can tell, I'm not a sports anything. I watched in 92 and 93 when the Jays won the World Series back to back. That was pretty cool. I haven't been following any of the games, but if you're Canadian, are you following the Blue Jays? And I guess for anyone who lives in California, it's, I'm going to, you know what, I'm not going to say what the team's name is because I don't want to get it wrong. Look at me. Anyways, yeah. So if anyone's watching, you know, of course I'd like the Blue Jays to win, but I'm not going to be following. And they talked about being careful with scammers, you know, selling you tickets that aren't really there. And personally, I would much rather be at home watching the game on TV than even remotely going to a crowded stadium. That's not my thing, but I'm sure it is for some people. But yeah, and if you're a diehard baseball fan, I didn't get enough in this second one. So, stealing. hopefully before it. I'm making a mess too, just to let you know. All right, that'll be sufficient. It's just enough to give us an idea of, you know. I'm sure it's starting to set up too, so this is kind of pointless now, isn't it? Yep. Okay, Natalie, stop playing. Starting to set up. It's really to give us an idea what the colors look like. That's the gist of this video. Get that cleaned up. So we'll let these sit, obviously, for their 10 minutes. And I will clean up my mess. I will come back once I've got everything, you know, sort of figured out. Oh, sugar plum fairies. I am just not doing well with this today. Everything's sticking and I'm knocking stuff over. Not the plan. All right. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up my mess. We'll let these set up. When I come back, I'm just trying to think if I want to do that. I'll come back. When I'm ready to carry on with the video, I will be back, and then we'll move on from there. See you in a little bit. Well, that seemed like a long time to me, but again, I'm the one making the video. Right, we are going to take these two pieces out. I've taken the covers off of the Flash Amaranth and the Flash Copper. I also have out the Flash Black. We're not going to be using it on the wings. I am going to be using whatever leftover resin I have. I want to put some of the black flash in because I want to see how this actually comes out. It's kind of got an interesting look to it. And I just thought, well, let's make it up. And I'm going to be using a couple of Christmas pieces, potentially, depending on how much we have left over. And I know it may seem odd to do the black, but we're going to do it anyway. I don't think I'm going to have a lot left over. However, I figured I might as well get, you know, something that was more along the lines of Christmas. All right. So that is our camo green and the bronze green. I have to admit, I'm a little disappointed with the camo green. I had thought it'd be a lot darker than what it is. And it's like, maybe if it got mixed into resin, it would come out a little bit darker. I mean, it has a bit of a dark feel to it, but it definitely is a lot lighter than I thought it would be. The bronze green, I don't mind that at all. I think that's pretty, how that came out. So let's put that one there. And then this is our deep purple red. Now, the other thing I have to say, and it may be too, is because we used white as the background on that, may be part of the reason why that's not darker. So we do have to keep that in mind. So I just want to put those colors off to the side, those ones over here. So we'll bring back what we've got so far. Make sure I can get everyone in. And then there is our deep purple red. So again, I did get too much in this. I have to drill a hole through that one. So again, you know, I'm learning, some of you probably already know, depending on what your background color is, it's going to make a difference in the depth of color that you get from whatever, you know, mica powder you're working with. I mean, these two came out really pretty because they had the black background. These having the white, they're a little more muted. Potential is that had I done the black, we would have more vibrant colors. Now, this is a matte mold. It's not a glossy mold. But interesting to me is that these two are actually shinier, or feel shinier. This one for sure. I mean, it's the silver that's helping with that. But they definitely look shinier. The first two that I did versus the second two. Easily fixed. We can use UV resin on this. I could take some regular epoxy resin and put it on top of it, or you just leave it with the matte finish. So we're going to get those 4 out of the way. I really wish they went both ways. Stuff like that. Anyways, let's move on. Let's not get caught up in what Natalie is wanting right now. Okay. Just wipe these down a bit. So we will do two-tone on these. We'll do, I think what we'll do is we'll do the flash amaranth at the top, and we'll do the gold at the bottom, or it's copper. I shouldn't call it gold, it's copper on the bottom. And I'll get my masking tape and we'll clean some of this out because I don't want to mess with the, we're just going to clean these up better. Get as much of that color out as we can. And where did I throw my tape? Always love when I move things and then I don't know where I have put them. This is not the one I'm looking for. You know, you think I'd be able to find it because it's purple. Darn it. I have no idea where I put it. Oh, that is sad. I thought I had put it back on the one resin bottle I have here, but apparently I have seen fit to move it to I don't know where. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Okay, I hope you're laughing at me as you see it sitting on the table there going, Natalie, it's right in front of you. Holy crap. See, when things aren't where you expect them to be? Yep. Oh, that is sad. Okay. That's okay. Laugh at me. I am totally cool with that. You can't see what isn't lost. And if any of you listen to Abraham Hicks, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I need to find a... It's almost as if, well, you'd have to clean them anyways. I was going to say, if you had another set, you could do the darker colors, you know, in one set and then lighter colors in the other, but you'd still have to be aware of, you know, the colors embedding themselves. And this is a soft silicone too. Like it's not a hard silicone like the red I use from Alumilite. And I've sort of come to terms that next time I need silicone, I'm definitely going to get something that's not as hard as what this Alumilite is. I want something that's more pliable. All right. That should hopefully be somewhat sufficient. Wasn't going to ask you where I put that back up where it belongs. All right, so we were going to do the sort of the reddish at the top and the gold at the bottom. So let's do this. Or we could sort of spread it out. Maybe that might be an option too for us. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do a little bit all over. So we can sort of have a flowing of color. I don't know how this is going to look. Just going to be one of those things that turns out the way it turns out, right? I feel like I've got way too much on that. Now this is going to be a bit of a longer video than I kind of expected, but you know what? I'm just going with the flow of things today. All right, so what do you think the chances are I'm going to be able to mimic this? Considering the issues I've had today, trying to get this. Not that it would matter. Not that it would matter. And then we kind of come across like that, didn't we? All right. I think we've got it somewhat similar. All right. Now I'll get this wiped off. Ash copper. Now this one had, whether the top wasn't put on, like the stuff that was sealing it wasn't put on right or not, I'm not sure, but there's quite a bit in the cap. This looks pretty together. Every once in a while. It's actually cool sometimes because you can, you think there's some colors that, wouldn't work well together, and then you blend them in and they complement each other. And then there's sometimes, I can get colors that you would not think go well together, and I even question my own, judgment on what I've done, and then they all of a sudden, it looks really cool once it's blended together. Now, I had thought about, you could maybe use this for a mobile. They might be too heavy for that. I'm not sure. You could definitely make these out of ceramic resin, which might be nice. Yeah, these colors together look nice. I'll show them to you before we pour. Okay. Okay. There's that up. Get rid of a little bit of the over. So there's the one. Here's the second one. I think those look really nice together. Really nice. All right. All right. So we've got our resin, which is warming up. Not a lot of bubbles in there. That's brilliant. So we'll just do one at a time, and I'll get them somewhere on the mat here so that we can move them around. I want to try and get one set that I actually don't go over the nub up here at the top, the whole. Be nice to have actually one complete pair where I've not gone overboard. That'd be nice. So what I'll do is I'll stop that. Put that off to the side where it's safer, hopefully. Yes. And we'll get this going in where it needs to be. These remind me of the angels that I've got that I absolutely love, and having to, get the resin going into all the crevices on them. Actually, it's too bad that piece doesn't go up just a little bit higher. That would be helpful to me. That would be helpful. Okay, so what we're going to do, they're not quite high enough. They need to be a little bit higher. A little bit higher. I mean, it's not a big deal, obviously, to, poke that hole out. But anywho. So I guess because it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal if I go over it a little bit, is it? Okay. I got enough over there? I don't even know if I've got it over there. Hard to... No, I don't. I was going to say it's hard to tell, but no, I don't. I definitely need more in this. I think these are going to look really pretty. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it like that. I don't need to go overboard with this. And the other one, I think because this, so as I said, one's deeper than the other. So I'm going to put a little bit more in this first one because I think it needs it. It's deeper than the other one. So the second one that I did, I can see it. It's got what do they call that when you're putting a top coat on? Like it's got a nice rounded edge to it, whereas this one again seems to be shallower than the second one. Domed. All right, I think that'll do for those. Alrighty, so we'll let those sit. We'll put those colors off to the side. Let's move you up here a little bit so you're out of my way. All right, definitely don't want to be knocking these guys over. And I'm noticing that there's some silicone around the sides, and I'll have to work on trimming those down a little bit. Do I want any more in those? No, you know what? I think we'll be okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, what do I want to do? So let's get some of this black and put it in here. I have that there. I think what I'm going to see, I've got my, I'm not sure which is the better to use. We use their sticks. Where did I? Since they gave them to me, I'll use one of their little sticks. I'm just not sure what this is going to fit into as far as how much I've got left. See, this flash black to me has a lot of silver in it. More so than black. Which is interesting. And you'll see what I mean when I get to pouring it. Put some more in there. There's not near enough in that. It's going to look pretty though. It's got a lot of silver in it. So I wonder how close it's going to be to the first one I did, that I used the silver and put the black backing, and then this. So I'll have to do a comparison. Maybe that'll be enough. It looks very opaque, or not opaque, translucent actually. You're going, Natalie, I can't see what you're doing. I know. Aside from mixing it up, my gloves are in the way. All right. We'll leave it like that. Now, I'm just not sure. I'm really not thinking I'm going to have enough to put in that. I'm not thinking I'm going to have enough. So what we'll do is we'll do our bell. And we'll do the bell. And then whatever's left, I will, and I'm going to do my best just to, you know, sort of get this going into the spots. I guess I could, whatchamacallit, couldn't I? I could spritz it. And I'm going to let this go down here so that I can not get, whatchamacallit. I'm so proud of my English. I say I like to work it into all those crevices as best I can. You know, if the resin starts flowing in, I feel like it helps me to get a better piece out of it. And I'll get it flowing in where it needs to go. I wonder now, as I'm doing this, if I would have had enough for my other piece. But anyway, I don't know. It's too bad I don't know exactly where the other one is, because I could do it too. I'm gonna have to get my whatchamacallit for this toothpick. Someone's trying to reach me. Yeah, I'm gonna have lots left over. I might just see how far I get with that ribbon. I won't keep you guys around for that. Okay, let's get this going where it needs to. Up around here. It's this fiddly little stuff, right? I mean, they look so pretty when they're done. It just takes so much to get them there. At least I find that. Maybe it's just because I don't always have the patience I need to have for stuff like this. Just tack that down. All right. Okay. I'm going to let you go. We will come back when we're ready to take our pieces out of their molds, and we'll see where we end up. I'll see you in about 24 hours. All right, we're ready to wind this up. So I actually had enough of the resin left to do this bow, which I can see I've got some air bubbles on, so I didn't really pay attention to it as long as I probably should have. And then we've got our 2 feathers, and we've got our bell. So let's start with the bell and see how it turned out. Now, because these types of molds are so delicate, you definitely have to let your pieces sit and harden up, just because we've got like the bell on the bottom is, and I know that's not the proper terminology, but the piece on the bottom definitely needs to sit so that that gets set up really well. So again, another one of these matte molds, so you can't really get the look of it as well as if it were glossy. So we know to fix that, we can just put a layer of UV resin on top of it. I use a paintbrush to do that. I don't know if other people just, you know, sort of spread it around with their gloves. I like using a paintbrush because then I can get into all the intricate details. This might be one of those pieces where I use some of my PBO to highlight it, to bring it more to life. So that's our bell, which turned out not too badly. I probably have some air bubbles in that just because it was starting to set up too much my resin when I poured these 2 pieces. All right, we'll do that last. We'll do these first. So I'm very curious how these are going to look, because the combination of those 2 colors together was really pretty. All right. Yeah. Just let that, I like, again, because I know they're not set, you know, fully as far as, you know, getting hardened. I always like to use just a paper towel or have the gloves on to flatten these pieces out so that they can set that way. Now, if you wanted to, I do have an old wine bottle. Some of the butterflies I used to make, the fairly, like the bigger ones, I'd gotten a mold from Michael's a long time ago. And I had thought it'd be really cool to take, you know, some of the butterflies I made and put them over the bottle so they actually looked like the wings were flapping on them. So if you wanted to do something like that, I'm not sure you would want to do it with the feathers, but it would be something to consider. Okay. Yeah, so there are feathers. They turn, those are very pretty. I love the combination of those 2 colors together. And I actually managed to not fill in either of the holes on either one of these. That's brilliant. Now, I don't have, I was hoping, I'm not sure how well this is going to work out. I just think it'd be nice if you could see that against a non-blue background. Yeah. So there we go. Those are so pretty. I think they're so pretty. Like the mold itself, and then even just the coloring that we've got going on with those 2. So how cool that we were able to, in this video, like do all the, you know, the 2 types of polyurethane, regular resin, just to see how things look. Plus getting to mix one of the colors in with the resin. Now this piece, I'm really not sure how well this will have come out. I was using my dotting tool to try and get resin into some of the crevices, so if this didn't turn out very well, I absolutely know why. All right, yeah. Yeah, this didn't actually turn out. Yeah, this one leaves a little bit to be desired. But that's okay. It didn't fare as well as it could have had I, you know, gotten the resin into the mold straight away and took my time. I didn't really have the opportunity to take my time with it. But that was not the point of this video. As one of the people who does TikTok videos, and I love listening to her. She's a teacher in Oshawa here in Canada, and she does brilliant videos because she's a teacher, and I've learned so much listening to her. But she always says sometimes, this is not the point of this TikTok. Those are not the point of this video. It is about the feathers and the new mica powders. So yeah, it'd be curious to know how that camo would look if it were actually mixed in to the resin directly. I really like this one as well. I think the black really highlighted the silver. So let me get that out. So the silver and the chestnut were the two I did without you. So this is the way this worked. So those were the two I did without you, using those two colors. And then we did the camo green and the deep purple red. And then we played with, no, I'm getting this mixed up. Oh, right. These two colors for that. And then these two colors for that one. But yes, these two came out really nicely. I really like that one. And I really like these two. So I have some cleaning up to do, obviously, of my mold. There's some flecks in there I've got to get rid of. Totally cool. That'll be done off camera without you. So yeah, we've come to the end of another video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I wanted to play with these new mica powders to see how they looked from a metallic point of view, and I really should try a glossy to see how they'll turn out. But I do like seeing how the different colors on the same mold are actually, you know, coming out as far as vibrancy goes. But yeah, so there we have it. Kind of cool. Now I just have to figure out what to do with my feathers that I've made here. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite colors or what your favorite combination might be. And maybe I'll do something with those colors in a future video. Anyways, thank you for watching and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. The numbers are starting to grow again, which is awesome. And I'm trying not to get too wrapped up in numbers anymore. Just enjoying doing the videos for you and trying to make them as interesting as I can from week to week. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day. Always be creative. I will see you in our next video. Take care and bye for now.